jackass. Hi, that's a thing that happens. We're gonna play D&D, and it's gonna be great. And I have a cup of tea right now. If you don't, you should get one. Um, Jordan, you probably have something to talk about here, as you're partnering some cool folks.
Yeah, so we've got our friends over at the No Latency podcast. They're a Cyberpunk Red actual play podcast that's really fun. I'm guest starring for their Christmas side quest that'll be coming up soon. I don't remember the exact release schedule. Anyway, but No Latency podcast, it's gonna be awesome. I'm in the side quest. It's fun. We fight stuff and we do stuff, and that's how we don't give spoilers away.
And they
Any
do it
other
with no
shout outs
latency.
and announcements that we got?
Jamie?
Well, we'll save the Jamie announcement for last. I know we have at least one more.
Yeah, I want to give a quick one here, just as a quick shout out to none other than the voice of Commander Shepard himself, Mark Meir, who hosted an incredible round of D&D for myself, Tanya, and a few other folks at D&D in a Castle. We got back from England a couple of weeks ago, and that was amazing. So, Mark, on the off chance you are ever viewing this, amazing, thank you, and highly recommended experience for anyone who manages to get themselves over there. Yeah, it was amazing.
We love it. Some of the stories that we've been told, I I wish I could have done it. It sounds great. All right.
Jordan, did you watch the video of Phoenix's big kill at the end of it?
Yeah.
That was fucking awesome.
Yeah, critical smites are a thing.
Critical smites are why I'm terrified of this group.
I mean,
I'm not worried about a smite. I'm more worried about a critical sneak attack due to the fact that we've got a rogue and a grave cleric.
yeah. But I mean, at least we don't have any paladins yet.
Reminder to self: don't kill any of your characters lest one of you come back as a paladin.
But I think
I've got a taste of it now. There's no stopping me.
Paladins are awesome. I love them. Second favorite class after barbarian.
One of these days I'll make a Palbarian. A Palbarian?
No, that's the guy that managed the Undertaker in WWF.
There we go.
No, that was like Phineas or something.
Anyway.
Yeah, we keep interrupting Jamie.
But Jamie.
Oh, hi. So speaking of how cool it would be if we all got to go to D&D in a castle. Monies, over here.
Other side.
Oh, damn it. Over here, as you can see, we have a Ko-fi to rhyme with Lofi. That is ko-fi.com/dicejailers. All one word. I think. I can't see it, but you can. If you would be kind enough to send us a donation through Ko-fi, you would have access to our Discord server, where we do really deep and mature discussions.
Wait, have I not been invited to that channel?
Important, memes, discussing what we think is going to happen in the future, which you're fooling no one, Bjorn. It's just like him trying to be like, oh, what horrible thing have I not thought of? I'm going to yoink that. So...
The Wild Speculation channel is exactly where you can give Bjorn ideas for things to kill us with.
Yep, and you don't have to tell him about a Bodak. I assure you he knows about the Bodak.
Yeah.
Look, I already have
giving him good ideas too often.
I already have D&D Beyond's gelatinous cube roper hybrid creature in my notes, and it just gets worse from there. So there's nothing you players can come up with that was probably more messed up than I've already got.
Anyway, so if you'd like to come and donate to Ko-fi, that will go to the therapy fund for those of us who have to live with someone who thinks that a D&D hybrid of a gelatinous cube and a roper is a good thing. So that would be me. I'm talking about me.
Yep.
That is Ko-Fi / Dice Jailers. Once again, over there. Thank you for humoring us, and money, please.
I love it.
And to the folks who have been watching every week on Twitch, Jamie and I are always hanging out in the chat there. So if you want to actually join that, it's fun to banter with people. But those of you who are actually tuning in and watching, like, seriously, thank you. There are a couple names I see every week, so some of you are enjoying this, or you are torturing yourselves with it, in which way we either give you pleasure or pain.
A views of
Happy
you,
to-
baby.
Yep, happy to help you or hurt you, whichever one you're into. That said, you all recently returned to the city of Virtue within the Asharan Vale. You had stolen the dossier from one Castian Oloro, having replaced his with a fake. Looking through this dossier, through some magical means, you found that there was an illusory script spell on it, and then waiting 2 days, found what that illusory script meant. The details of which you took note of and started to question who all you could or could not trust. Since you were in a large new city here, though, Garnet got quite excited, knowing that the gnome tinkerer, Dippletop, had a magic shop nearby. She escorted most of you out of the city where this massive mechanical worm tore out of the ground, revealing itself to be the shop. He looked over his wares and also found out through conversation that he had a mechanical manticore that, as he put it, there was a whoopsie. And it had gone off to the east, out of control. He offered to give you some store credit if you would go take care of it. And if you brought it back, or at least incapacitated it without destroying it, he would up the amount. He also let you know there was another group of adventurers that had set out just before you that you were very familiar with, the Low Elves. You took the job, went east, and found the manticore. Doing battle with it, you were able to incapacitate it, Siobhan mightily landing the final blow, and her new, protector, her ancestral guardian, there's the words I'm looking for, abilities manifesting in an even stronger form, as all of a sudden, Siobhan, you heard and understood some of your first words of quarry through using your new power, whatever that entirely is going to mean. Dippletop, through a little negotiation with Garnet, gave you a immovable rod for the payment on this, which you now have in your inventory. I'm sure I'm going to regret that. And Siobhan, at the end of the evening, went to a local tavern here and met the tiefling ranger by the name of Morius Promise that had found her as an infant over 20 years ago, bringing her to this very city, to this very tavern, where she was given over to Calm Finnegan. And she basically let the Seedling let them know sort of what her life has been up to this point, asked sort of specifically where she was found, and they relayed to her that as far as being able to feed her until they got to Virtue, always seemed to just know what the infant Siobhan needed, showing her telepathic powers were there even in infancy. But as night turns into a new day, Siobhan, as you sleep that evening, you have the dream again, or visions as we now know it, the destruction of the village where you were born, these shapeless, faceless individuals with these eyes of fire sort of laying waste to everything. But now, as you've reached this new connection with understanding the language of Quarry, and if you haven't added that to your languages, you may add Quarry to your spoken languages. You now understand it through the leveling up of your ancestral guardian abilities. And you can hear now these voices that were completely unintelligible. You're able to pick out words here and there, shouts of run and hide and who are they, and Where's my brother? You could hear people shouting out, looking for family members, looking for friends, loved ones, screams of terror as everything's being destroyed around them. And a piece of the vision comes into even more clarity as you watch as these dark faces with eyes of fire begin to clarify. And the flames you see now humanoid eyes. And where once was all darkness, you see every one of these shapes is wearing one of those featureless white masks. And in this moment of realization, this is the first time you've woken before the final moment of you going down the river. That was usually where the vision ended. You don't get that far. As these things come into clarity, you jolt awake in a cold sweat, looking about. It's in the small hours. You can see the sun has started to rise. You all have a long rest from this. So if you haven't taken one, give yourselves a long rest. But you wake up here in your room in or about Disco Fort Kickass Mark II. And you are awake.
Is everybody else asleep? Oh, hold on. Is everybody else asleep, or somebody on watch?
You're in your rooms here, unless one of you felt like you needed to be on watch. I imagine everyone would be asleep. I don't know if anybody is likely to be awake in the small hours. Pohaku, maybe, just being how much about nature he is, but I could also see him wanting his beauty rest. He is the champion, after all.
Well, if there is the space to sleep out on the roof, he would do that.
I mean, much like in our last campaign, where if Mirek wanted to sleep in a puddle out back, if Pohaku wants to sleep on the roof, nobody's trying to stop him. There was a very brief, "Are you sure you want to do that?" And when he was insistent, they just went, "Knock yourself out, man." Cool.
I've knocked myself out once. It wasn't pleasant. I don't recommend the experience.
But yeah, you are awake, Siobhan. It's probably an hour or two before anyone else would normally wake up.
Well, I'm not going to wake anyone. I'm going to grab my dream journal and write the new information in it. First, as a free action, I'm going to curse, and but under my breath, so I'm not trying to wake anybody up. And then, probably as another free action, have a panic attack. No. Oh, it's gonna take me a minute to calm down, and when I calm down, I'm gonna write in the journal, and I don't think I'm gonna be able to fall back asleep.
Sure. And as you are writing, you can see that there is a second set of words appearing along with your writing. And you've seen this before, where the words have been there, and it is almost on a very like childlike writing. And now the writing is more clear, and it's writing the same things you are. It's just in a second set of handwriting is all. But you see it there very, very clearly along with yours.
So I write. I think I know what it was now. I don't know how I write in an accent, but I do. I think they're called. Oh God. So hold on a second. I know the Hallow Keeper was the one who was known for the mask.
Right. Mannix explained that this mask is known as the symbol of this boogeyman type creature known as the Hollow Keeper, which Castian had in his notes. It seemed like he was
but there's
reporting
nothing
to.
like. But there's nothing like And their followers are called. Wait, we don't have that.
Correct.
Okay.
And you had found these masks on members of the
Yeah.
Upright who seemed
Yep.
to be in opposition with Castian.
Yep. Okay. So in that case, X card. I do not say these people are called because I don't bloody know. Say, I have the lead now. It's something to do with the Hollow Keeper. Oh, fuck me, I gotta go to the Empire. Oh, fuck's sake.
And as you say this, you receive a response, not on the page, but in your mind. We are with you. You will be close to home. We will watch you. Vitara.
I'm going to try to respond in my head. And I assume they're speaking Quarry.
Yes.
So do I speak Quarry like a child, or I'm just suddenly it's like that switch is activated and I'm like, oh, I know this.
Because this is telepathy,
Ah,
it's
sure.
you're having no problem with it, but the languages are able to be understood.
Say, are you Vitara? Vitara?
You.
That's what my parents called me.
Yes. You are Vitara.
Right, so that's a lot. And I'm gonna like burrow underneath my covers.
And as you do that, you hear, I am Tana. It's nice to finally meet you.
Freaking out. I probably need to be writing all this down. Tana? T-A-N-A?
T-A-N-A.
Tana. And was it Vitara or Vitana?
Vitara. V-I-T-A-R-A.
Okay. Hello, Tana, and are you my Quarry then?
Yes. You house many of us.
How's that work?
You have seen it. When you tap into your inner strength, when you have fought, the protection you offer, the protection we wish for you, which you share with others.
So I kind of indicate my tattoos. See. May I ask where you were for the first 20 years or so then?
Trying to reach you. You were never taught our language, so you didn't understand. The connection is there now, and you understand.
I wouldn't go so far as to say I understand. I can hear you.
That is the beginning. We will grow together, learn together, and we will piece together the past and make amends or make things right. Rest now, as best you can. I know this is a lot. I'm with you. We're all with you.
So she basically, Siobhan, like, starts and rejects about 12 different questions. It's just,
Sure.
how are you writing in a journal?
It is a collective effort through thousands of quarry, focusing through you and your connection to something physical to put that on the page. It is exhausting, but it has been our tether to you through all these years, making sure we never lost you.
So, out loud, quietly, in Halfling. Right, so, going insane, hearing voices, good, 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 things going well. Try to figure out if it's too early to call my mom. Yeah, I'm going to do the very sensible thing of burrowing underneath my covers and hiding until a more reasonable hour.
Sounds good.
And probably trying not to think, because now I'm just freaking out.
Okay. Pohaku, are you up with the sun or shortly after? Like, what's his waking regimen?
Yeah, probably. I mean, he's not necessarily, looking to get up with the sun, but yeah, he's probably a relatively early riser.
Okay. You've probably been up for the better part of half an hour, and you hear a voice come into your head. Very, very familiar voice of your mother, Nahele. And you hear, Pohaku, the winds have shifted, and the trees are wary. I must see the branch mothers and the order of the beginning. Will relay more soon. That's where the sending spell ends.
Okay. Certainly know the branch mother's order of the beginning. Does that
Order
mean
of the
something to
beginning, yeah, you'd be familiar with them. It is another order of druids that is just well known throughout the Whispering Wood. They are believed by many there to have possibly been around since the previous cycle of life and death. Some believe they survived the last Ragnarok. They have never confirmed or denied whether that's true, but they are referred to as the Order of the Beginning because people believe they have been there since the beginning of this cycle.
Okay. I reply back to her. Hey, really glad to hear from you. I hope all is well. Big hugs. Tell everyone I love them. Things are great here. Let me know how it goes.
Perfect.
Which I did not count out, but should be around 25 or so.
And a few moments will pass, and your mother's decently skilled druid, so capable of sending more than once per day. And you will get a second message saying to you, it is wonderful to hear things are good. If you are needed, we will call. The world is either waking up or changing. Be well. You are loved.
I will reply back again. You're loved so much too. The world is changing. It's a weird place. The one I was supposed to find, I think it's going well.
And as time passes, the sun fully rises, everyone wakes in their own time. Mannix, they've gotten used to you at this place. You are brought your coffee and coffee.
He looks up.
Yes, go ahead.
Sorry, one last thing.
Yes, please.
Is as the sending her sending to me is over, because burning third level spells is what I do.
Yeah.
I reply. I use a sending spell of my own to contact her, just to tell her. Just wanted you to know. I learned how to do this too. Miss you.
And moment passes. Another moment. And you actually have there's a moment where it almost seems like, is there not going to be a response? Yeah. I have been searching for the words to relay just how proud I am. But I suppose the simplest is the best. We're all proud of you. Myself especially. When you...
Not with the sending spell. He just goes, "Aw."
And the last part is, when you next return, we look forward to seeing your talents. And so, Mannix, you had a reaction to your coffee and coffee, which is brought. Two different types of coffee, by the way, too.
Why'd you bring two coffees? I'm just taking the piss.
You should see this middle-aged human gentleman. He just has this moment of, oh no, I've heard about this guy, and as you do that, very well. Good morning, and should you all need anything, the staff is of course at your service. And he will bustle off. It is not long after receiving these two coffees, Mannix, that you are on the receiving end of a sending spell. And it is a voice you recognize. It's the voice of a red dragonborn male named Taldris Sorakas. This is a business associate of yours, both proper and on the down low business as well. You know that he is an unregistered wizard, and that he also deals in black market magic items, as well as being a well-known investor throughout the Empire. And this message comes in. Mannix, my dear friend, I do hope I didn't wake you. Thought you should know. The census came knocking. Lying low for a bit.
Just what I wanted to wake up to. Love to hear it. Taldris, what kind of nonsense have you gotten yourself mixed up in?
And you will receive a second sending spell. To tell you the truth, I'm not sure. I know our dealings have been similar at times. Wanted you to have advance notice, if possible.
Is there anything in particular you can share outside of bad things are happening, keep your head on a swivel?
this is the last I can send today, so know this. I think someone leaked the details of my personal studies, if you catch my meaning. And you've known him long enough to know he is referring to the fact that he has studied wizardry for a long time in his spare time through many private tutors paid under the table. And he is, again, completely unregistered as a wizard because you know he uses his magic oftentimes in business dealings to have an upper hand on whoever he's dealing with. And that's everything you would glean from that.
Bloody Marcus. Oh. I think I'm going to need 2 more coffees.
Which will end up being provided for you in no time, as you guys have only been here a few days. They've gotten used to you. But the day begins, you are able to gather to eat some of the various breakfast offerings available. Pohaku, they've gotten used to you enough where they just give you this tray of everything they were possibly going to serve, just little bits of all of it. They're like, he wants to try everything. He's happy with whatever. The chef thinks it's great. Any cockamamie stuff that she's come up with, there are a few tastings on there that no one else gets. She has no idea if they're any good. It's like, mustard nettle soup. Why not? He'll eat it.
Is it any good? He'll totally try it.
The mustard nettle soup, not great. Kind of bitter, little earthy, bit chewy, kind of a grainy texture to it. Like just real not good. Everything else is fantastic though.
This reminds me of some of the things from home. Thanks.
Yeah, it kind of tastes like it was like strained through an uncleaned mushroom cap.
I think there's some things we could do, because this does remind me of some of the things that my sister used to make when she was learning. Maybe we actually washed, you don't want to soak them because then they get all waterlogged and that's no good. But you do want to scrub the mushrooms a little first. It'll it just pulls like a twig out of his teeth. It'll help with some of the grit.
And the chef, she's full on taking some notes. We did plug in some, clean it a bit. Well, okay. So I thought it was worth a try. I was going for a real earthy vibe.
I really like your enthusiasm, and I mean, earthy vibe. I mean, that's totally my jam.
I'm going to be honest. I've never had anybody stay here who would literally eat anything. So you've been great. I just get to throw whatever out here. You'll try. I'm happy to take notes on these new recipes. No, that's good. That earthy was a little too earthy. It's fine. We'll dial it back a bit. Appreciate you.
Phoenix does not have anything in mind, but Pohaku will share a recipe that he has come to love from back in the wood.
And she's just completely right. You actually list a couple ingredients that you kind of just see, like her face kind of blue screens, like I've never even heard of that plant at all. Like, okay. I mean, you mentioned one that it actually helps if you can, get a tree to mix it for you. And she looks at you like you got 6 heads. Right, yeah, tree to mix it for me. I'll get right on that.
They have really good patience, and they don't, it's just this very consistent. That's really the key there is the consistency. If you speed up too much and then you go too fast and too slow, it'll knock the air out of it. And it's just, trees are really good at patience in a way that I've never quite. I try. I'm pretty good. Patience was never really my strongest. I know it's a
Oh,
personality flaw.
oh heck, you weren't kidding. All right. I'm gonna need a nap after this because that's a lot. Okay. Um, thank you. I'm gonna go see what I can do about that. Anyhow, I
You're
enjoy.
welcome.
That's great. Oh my God, I'm getting nicked by a tree. Okay, and she heads off back towards the kitchen. But meal is delightful. You are all gathered. What would any and all of you like to do here and now in this moment? As a reminder, in case you don't have it front of mind, the other place that was mentioned to you here was a bar called the Proud Raven, where you're told you may find some allies, run by a woman named Sonia.
So what do we want to do next, everybody? I mean, I know what I want to do, but it's probably not going to happen.
What do you want to do, Kira?
What did you want to do, Kira? Maybe we could make it happen.
I want to go home.
Okay.
But, I know going to the Empire is not exactly a popular idea, so.
When's your birthday again? I know you wanted to be back by then.
Well, it's. What day is it, Bjorn?
So it is currently the 27th day of Slattermund. Your birthday is next month. I don't know
Yeah,
what
the
day of the next
25th.
month your birthday falls. 25th. So it is almost a month. It's just a little under a month to your birthday.
We've got about a month. But it is next month on the 25th.
How long does it take to get there?
I mean, if we take a train, a couple days.
Yeah, you could find if you were on a train that was going the speed of the one you guys were on before, you could get to Nova Aurora same day. I mean, you'd need some good lightning rail to do it, but there are trains that can get there in a day. Not a lot of them, but there are. Otherwise, yeah, you're probably looking at a day or two on the train to get through the vast majority of the Empire because it's big. And not every train can get to the capital city because it's a few thousand feet in the air.
Yeah.
I'd not be opposed to that, I think.
So I know that the Empire is a really uncomfortable subject for you. Is there anything that would make it okay or better to consider going? Or is it just a non-starter for you?
Well, it's funny you should mention it. To have a private conversation with all of you. Is there? I mean, we're just, I assume, in the middle of like a dining hall.
Yeah, I mean it's a fairly large dining area, so you're there. You can see other patrons about at tables nearby. So yeah, you can take your food back to Disco Fort Kick-Ass. Mark II could go back there once you're done dining. You can ask for access to that private room that you had before for the meetings with Bicker because you are still at the same establishment. You know that room exists.
Right.
It was pretty quiet up on the roof last night too. If you want to talk there.
Begging your pardon, wasn't it very cold?
How many people are in our immediate vicinity?
There's about. How close when you say immediate? Are you just talking about in the same area, or
Within eavesdropping distance?
easily a half dozen?
Now I can only get a few of them out of range.
I tell you what, I had an errand or two I needed to run this morning, if it'd be all right. And I was hoping we could meet in the fart later for a discussion. Around. Sorry, go ahead.
Yeah, absolutely. I mean, do what you need to do.
It's not a secret or anything. I need to go to was there Ye Olde post office? I forget. It's like.
Oh yeah.
It's no secret. I need to send some letters, and
I need to do the same.
All right, if you want to come with me.
Yeah.
Centaur
absolutely.
Express, right?
Centaur Express. Why not? Sure.
Yeah.
Episode title, baby.
Got a
Funnily
job on
enough,
the old Centaur Express.
I mean, it's not quite a Centaur Express, but the postmaster here in Virtue is a Centaur. So
There we go.
I've written it down. My notes are terrible, but possible episode titles got like whole list.
Well done.
We love to see it.
Always good to get down that important stuff.
I couldn't agree more.
Mr. DM, where is the Dragonborn friend that was just communicating with? Where is he located roughly? Do I know that?
You do know. He also, much like you, lives in the capital city of Nova Aurora.
Okay.
You don't know if he's left with this. You know he has a second property not far from Nova Aurora. There is a smaller settlement a little to the northeast known as the Prospects, where it's sort of an unnamed yet to come city, and it's just called that as it's slowly building up. A lot of folks are kind of buying investment properties there, as it's both close to the huge temple Morningminster, and it's not far from the wizards' school, the Tower of the Gossamer Order. So this is kind of a place where people think property values might be good in the future. So you know that he has a place in the Prospect. You also know that he had somebody else sign the deed on that, where he has it, but there's no record that he has it. So he's either in the capital city of Nova Aurora, or if he wasn't there, you imagine if he went to Lilo, he probably went to the Prospects.
And Kira, remind me exactly where we'd be going for home for you again. Just humor me.
Well, I mean, I wouldn't be going back to the barracks or anything. I'd go back to Halia's. And she's in the southeast part of town. Right? Am I right on that? Am I remembering things correctly?
So for Halia's, she is the Prosperity Bazaar, where most of commerce and shops are, is the southwest.
Oh.
And we just lost Jamie.
Yep. So we look real weird for a second, but that's
We're
fine.
That's fine. So the southwest of Nova Aurora is where most businesses are located, and that is where
Tanya, you're the DM. Say things. They're Buchanan.
No!
We win.
All right, you win. Because you win, you get to fight the Mega Robo Acid Tarask Xenomorph.
No.
Yes. But we're instantly level 20. It's okay.
It's fine.
There we
We'll see how
go.
that shakes out for all you. While this sorts itself out, yeah, is your home or residence would be in the southern district of Nova Aurora within the main housing area. It's a district known as the Soul of the Empire. And the Prosperity Bazaar is actually where Halia set up her bar, even though most bars are actually set up in the entertainment district, which is over to the east, the Gilded Precinct, simply because being set up around a lot of shops is a really good way to do business.
Yep, for sure.
So that's how she chose to do things. And she's not the only one, but yeah, her bar is amongst more of the shops as it's open not just for nightlife, but also during the day.
Yeah,
it's a very long-winded way of saying the Southwest.
Yeah, so we'd be in the southwest of town, near the bazaar. We've gone through a couple times when before leaving, when I was first assigned to guard you.
Yeah, and Mannix, your home is sort of on the northern part of Nova Aurora. The dead center district, Hope's Gaze, is specifically the Palace District, the majority of it being taken up by the Emperor's Palace. And then along the northwestern edge of that is a mage district where there are some homes that kind of are in both. And since you're a wizard, Mannix, you and your family have property set up sort of on the edge of where all the nobility lives, right along the border of that mage district. The capital city of Nova Aurora, it's broken up into 9 districts to be representative of the 9 realms of Norse mythology. Though anyone who really studies them finds there's not a quick one-to-one of each of what the realms are, and it's very clearly done as somebody who had, less brains than they thought they did. Of like, look, see, 9 equals 9, and they break it down. They're like, which of these exactly represents the realm of the giants again? But that's never here.
That one.
Whole thing. It's real
exactly.
big.
Yeah.
Exactly.
But yeah, I guess we could get some day-to-day stuff done and then talk more.
So, Kira, you had a few letters you had to send, you said.
I
think Siobhan...
I just had the one.
Okay, is it just the one to your mentor?
Yes.
Okay. And how much information is there anything you're leaving out of that?
What I'm saying to Sordal, because now everything's bad and everything's terrible and I don't know who to trust or talk to except him because everything's great and fine. The letter's just gonna read out. I have some friends that I'd like to bring home to meet you and meet Halia, to deal with some rats in her cellar. If you could get a hold of me through sending so we could talk more clearly, that would be convenient. Because letters might not get back before we get home.
And as far as how this is being sent, is this going to be standard mail? It's going to kind of get there when it gets there, traveling via rail? Do you want this sent? Because there basically is teleportation mailbox, for lack of a better term, where it is. You can get that letter there in about 10 minutes, since that's about as long as it takes them to cast the ritual of it going there.
I'll definitely spring for the teleportation mailbox.
That'll cost you 10 gold.
Can do. Worth it.
Yeah.
Worth it.
Because you think overnight mail costs a little bit of money? Because this is right now mail.
Yep.
So,
I mean, it is just magical email.
It really is. And AOL discs haven't been distributed out here to the Western realms yet. So, gotta Gotta pay those premium prices.
But how will we get
Uh,
those free tiny frisbees?
you mean coasters?
Also, yes.
Works for all sorts of things. Siobhan, how many letters did you have to send?
Oh, let's see. Well, we spent those 2 days being kind of on lockdown. I wrote a pretty long letter to parents, and I wrote a letter to my grandmother, and I wrote a letter to Connor since he lives separately. And then this morning, I think, oh, no, I also wrote a letter for Kudral, except of course it's under whatever name he's going by that I don't remember.
Phineas.
Phineas, and I wrote an addendum to that one this morning. Yeah, and I had them with me yesterday, and I was going to send them, but then, we ended up fighting a frickin' clockwork manticore, like you do.
You know.
So for those letters, are you just standard post, they get there when they get there, or do you need them to get there right frickin' now by teleportation mailbox?
They can be standard post.
Okay. So
Also, sorry, one more thing it was actually a stop I wanted to make before we went to the post office. Is there anything like a shop?
oh yeah, I mean you can find places that sell various teas. You're in a fairly large city, so there'd be multiple tea shops here. Any sort of specific type of tea you're looking for?
Well, I would tell Kira that I wanted to make this stop, and if he minded coming along, and if not, I would catch up.
Oh, I'd absolutely just go along with you.
Okay, and then in that case, I'd be like, what was that one when we first met around the campfire? You had something orange pico, did you call it?
Yes. Let me look, because I think I still have the box that I kept it in. And it was can't remember off the top of my head, but I know my brain was thinking like an orange jasmine tea.
So that was nice. So I was wondering if you could help me find something similar. I don't know if it grows out here, but
Yeah, we can. Yeah, I'll help you take a look. Absolutely.
and so yeah, I'm looking for something like that. Also, because my mother wanted like if I just came across anything like exotic or interesting. So is there anything that is just like, oh, we don't see that up in Ruby's Crossing?
Yes, actually, there are some various teas of elven make out here, since you are within the territory of the Asharan Vale, which is primarily populated by wood elves. And so you will find some very, very interesting herbal blends that elvish in make. You don't speak elvish, do you?
I do.
Oh, you do. Excellent. So you would understand, they have very, to folks who only speak common, very fascinating names, and some of them are just things like elder root tea. Like nothing.
Sounds really exotic, but it's just like...
It does when you don't know the language. But it's also a lot of plant life that doesn't, grow up in the harsher soil of the Vagabond assemblage out here in these woods that have been tended to for millennia. Much more hospitable environment for them. So if you want to buy a few teas, say, I don't know, if you mark off 1 gold, that'll get you quite a bit of tea of varying varieties to send home.
Assorted teas.
Mm-hmm. And then if this is all going by standard post, since you're also sending the tea, it'll cost you, say, probably 3 silver to send all of it.
I'm not sending her all the teas.
Oh yeah, but I mean, it costs more to send tea than it does a letter. So that's being sent. And I see Garnet's got a letter to send as well. And is that the same thing? Just, standard post, it gets down to Glimmershore when it gets there? Or are you going teleportation mailbox?
How long is standard?
I mean, from where you guys are at to get there, letters can go pretty quick, since they're, they don't need to go the long way around of a train. There are times where, you can send it by a fast-moving familiar or, say, magical raven figurine or something like that. So it would probably take the better part of a week to get there, but yeah, and everything's pretty secure. And if you're just sending the one letter, that's just going to be like 2 copper to send. You're basically paying for a postage stamp.
Yeah. She would also ask Kira for the details of his aunt's place, where and make sure that that's included with the "I'll be here in a month" kind of thing.
I give the, whatever passes for an address.
Sure. Yeah, I mean, Holly's is a well-known location within the capital city, so you would have an exact address for it. It's not just this, knock twice on the third stump, and then so.
That could be fun. Oh, our address is a riddle.
I mean,
we can make one
There
up
are
if you really
places.
want to, Garnet. Like, we can come up with a riddle.
If Garnet gets involved in the right thieves guild, there are addresses that are like that.
Because, like, there is a fountain nearby, so we could say that, like, you have to get in the fountain and splash 3 times and, like, spin around, and then look towards the way that the sun sets, and then you'll see it.
Furiously writing this down.
Marvelous. Absolutely love this. So these various letters will all be sent. Kira, since you sent yours by magical mailbox, you are all on your way back to the inn where you've been staying, when you will get a sending spell. So you get a sending spell, you get a sending spell, everyone gets sending today, apparently. We got all sorts of stuff being sent. You're muted. You are muted.
Sorry, I said, well, I just have people who live in my brain, apparently.
This is true. So you will instantly recognize the voice of Sordal. Glad to hear from you. I have troublesome news. I don't know what happened, but the official story about Tyree is untrue. Come home soon.
Great and cool, cool and great and cool. I have bad news as well. Traitors among us. Don't trust Castian. Something about Hollow Keeper. Coming home soon. And so as we're walking back home, or as we're walking back to the to Disco Fort Kickass, Mark II.
Mark II.
Garnet and Siobhan, Kira would stop dead in his tracks. And with a deception of 12, y'all probably both see every emotion on his face as he just stops. He stops dead in his tracks, and you've probably never seen someone break before, and he does.
Siobhan, with your passive insight of 15, you can read him like a book. He didn't even beat your passive.
Mm-hmm.
Garnet's still walking and talking down the street. She's got no idea what's going on.
She's not that kind of rogue.
No.
It's fair.
we're just in the middle of we're just like in the middle of the street.
Ah,
Siobhan, however, is familiar with having a panic attack or a breakdown in the middle of public. So it's like, oh, it's usually me. Okay, cool. It just sees, clocks and just goes, all right, and just kind of puts her arm around him, like just kind of hustles him off to a quiet side somewhere. If there's like a kind of a bench or just like someplace quiet, and then while she's bringing him, sends or telepathically tells Garnet, something's happened with the lads, coming back, and
Okay.
just brings him like, is there something? Is there? What I would love is like a bench or a stone, something next to trees, something nice.
I mean, the city of Virtue, almost everything is nice here. Like, it's almost Disney-esque in the way that there's like never any trash or anything anywhere. So, and again, being in a city that's within the Asharan Vale, there is plant life all around you, kind of at all times. Not in the branches are overhead, you can't see the sun, creepy way. Just everything kind of seems to be in a very well manicured place. So it's always like, oh, I can see the sky. Oh, look at the wonderful trees and the bushes. Oh, and there's a flower garden there. So within eyesight, you would have your pick of, you could sit under the shade of a tree, you could sit next to a little flower garden, or you could sit by the calmly running water of a fountain. These are all the things you can see within the near vicinity.
I should have been more specific. What I meant by like nice is least eyes on you, most kind of quiet, private.
Most kind of quiet and private would be kind of sitting under the shade of the tree, because kind of like the flower garden and the fountain area, there's kind of some people around there, but there's a small bench underneath the shade of a tree.
Okay. Yeah. So, yeah, Siobhan's actually pretty calm about it because, she's had panic attacks. And so it's just like, all right, you bend over, head between your knees. It's all right. He's rubbing his back. I'm pantomiming it, but like,
You know how I thought everything was bad before?
with census,
It got worse.
all right, what happened? Can we talk about this, or are you?
Yeah, I... So remember how I told everybody around the campfire that the story of my dad's last mission? How he died might not be true.
All right.
And I don't know what that means. But if they're lying to me and the entire empire about it, it can't be good.
So, tell me what you know.
That's about it. My mentor, and his mentor for that matter, just told me that that's what he knows and we need to talk. I was able to tell him telepathically about Castian. And now I know he and my aunt are the only people in the Empire I can trust.
So that's why we need to go to the Empire, because then you'll have more people there you can trust. Because you'll have me and Siobhan, and I hope Reba comes, but we haven't really asked her yet. And, well, Mannix is weird, but Pohaka will come and you can totally trust him.
I've got a whole lot of shit to get to the bottom of, and if all of this is somehow connected, then We've got some mutual asses to kick, Siobhan.
Right. I'll talk to Reba. Yeah, we have to go.
We were all headed back to Fort Kickass to talk as a group. Should we keep moving there?
Yeah, I might want a detour and get some sort of a treat to bribe Reba with. Because she's gonna, I think, kick up a fuss.
There's probably a bakery nearby.
I think she might technically be wanted in certain districts. She's been very vague about it, but she also talks about a prior life of crime. So,
Well, seeing as my higher-ups apparently don't have trouble lying to me, I can happily say some nonsense about Reba being under my charge and in rehabilitation.
sounds nonsense indeed. Yeah, I can't believe. Are you good to walk? Can we walk in?
Yeah, I'm good. And you'll see him just nervously fidgeting with his rings.
And yeah, Siobhan is gonna have a hand on his shoulder or his upper arm just the whole time that they're walking, and just kind of assuming that grounding touch is effective for him.
Yep. Yeah, it really is.
Yeah, just kind of like, all right, I'm here, I've got you, all right. Oh, and so I'm gonna, Siobhan would know well enough to know what kind of treats Reba likes. Jamie has not written such a thing down, but like, all right, if I was gonna bribe her, you know, if I was going to bribe her, what would I bring her?
Slug of whiskey.
I think Reba goes for like salty and savory treats over sweet treats.
Yeah.
Salted caramel rum cake.
Ooh,
Bag of jerky.
decorated with some gold leaf because we need to like appeal to her
Greed?
monetary sense.
Which is basically the same thing, only sugarcoating it. You can get that very fancy dessert. It'll set you back 5 silver. You get that gold leaf on there, which, you know, it's kind of intricate, but it's nice. And it serves more than one. Like, it's a good sized little cake there. Or, I mean, Reba's a big girl. She would be able to put the whole thing down in a sitting, but she'll have a tummy ache afterwards.
I was gonna say, I'm also gonna be like, hey, I think we need to go to the Empire, so she's possibly gonna stress eat the whole thing.
That's actually a really valid point. Yeah, this would normally serve like 3. It would serve 3 people or 1 grumpy Reba.
So I'm like, I'm gonna need 1. I'm gonna but how many? Cat 3, please. Should be all right.
So that'll cost you 15 silver or 1 gold, 5 silver.
For some reason, every time I try to remove monies, it's like you can't remove a 0 amount. And I'm like, I didn't.
Yeah, it doesn't automatically convert to the other coinage types.
Oh, because it's less than a gold, and it's like,
Yeah.
I don't know what to do about that. I'm not doing math. What the hell do I look like? So I spent no money, apparently. All right.
While they are away doing this, just real briefly, Pohaku is going to go out into an open area, like away from town, shuffle his feet around and see if he can get Double Top to show up.
Make an athletics check so you can get some big stompy going.
Uh, 12.
Oh. He's not as close as he was, but that. So you kind of shuffle your feet around for a bit and then kind of walk heavy for a bit and just kind of start jumping in place for a bit, and you're about.
I think I saw Garnet do it like this.
You're about to head back when all of a sudden that familiar rumbling comes about, and then boom, the massive clockwork worm, bam, landing there, and Dippletop at the controls. Did not expect to see you at all. Was about to head.
You should be
Well,
expecting to see me. You were making the thing for me. Is it done?
Yes. I won't lie. I finished it and kind of forgot about it since I was about to head off to work on the Manticore. It's still dormant. Don't worry. I think it's still dormant. I'll make sure it's still dormant. Yes. I have the thing for you.
Okay, thanks.
And he kind of straight, and he goes, so, what do you think?
This is of the thing that he just of the owl.
Yeah.
How is it?
Wait. And he flips a switch on the back of the neck, and it
I think
lands
it's perfect.
right in front of you.
This is perfect. Thank you very much. I appreciate your craftsmanship. Please don't get anyone else eaten. I don't have a problem with it, but I think there are individuals within my party that might want to eat your head off.
I get that more often than than you would think. Don't worry. Not the first time.
I don't know what it is. Dippletop's magnificence. There's just this big divide among our party on these people that we meet. I think you're great and totally understand the whoopsies, but they're just off mailing some letters. I gotta get back before they realize I'm gone. So thank you. Try not to be a dick.
I'll do my best. And if you'll excuse me, I'm going to go tend to a Manticore. And I think I know what went wrong the last time. I think I just need to dial down the carnivorous instincts just a little bit. Try to make it a little too real, which, as I think about it, probably didn't totally need to do that. It doesn't actually have a digestive system. You didn't ask. Anyhow, have a wonderful day, and hopefully see you soon.
Good thinking. See you later. Bye.
And so, yeah, you have this mechanical owl designed exactly as you wish. The enchantment on its mechanics works as such. You can give it a very simple command as for who to go to or where to go, and it would have a flying speed, or distance, I should say, of 60 feet before the clockwork, and it would no longer work, and it would just fall. But it can go from point A to point B up to 60 feet. It takes it more than a round to get there. It's not very fast, so we call it a distance as opposed to a speed, but it will get there. I'm just waiting to see what this ends up becoming. Is it's gonna become like a time bomb or something and like wreck some sort of dragon I send at you guys at some point. I'm just waiting.
A distance like parsecs?
I just wanted something that was, a nice little clockwork thing. Yeah, I mean, if you want, I can try to turn it into a bomb.
I just look at it this way. Anything that starts off innocent, it'll probably stay that way right up until I somehow set some sort of parameters. Phoenix looks in his inventory and goes, I've got an idea. Which is always kind of the most delightful thing in the world for me, because it happens and I go, what am I going to do with this? Let's find out. But yeah.
But yeah, it's Fifi, not the rest of us. It's not like he's going, well, Jamie's going to weaponize this tea somehow.
Now that you mention it.
Well, there is TNT.
It's dynamite.
Oh, goodness. I'm not going to go any further with that reference, Nathan. You'll win the fight. Anyhow.
Lost control already.
Did we ever have it, though? That's the real question.
Yeah, lose something you don't have. That's an excellent point.
So as you all gather back together, the desserts of bribery have been brought in as Reba's about to We'll see how she reacts to information she gets as Siobhan, Garnet, and Kira all return. Pohaku, you've also come back from your little clockwork owl. I'm guessing Mannix has probably enjoyed himself a late morning snooze or just some sort of relaxation, as I think that's his favored terrain.
Mannix went to the spa.
Say their spa.
There is.
He should have got an elaborate mani-pedi. Got to get those claws sharp and shiny.
For your are you also getting like your claws painted or just buffed?
Not painted, but definitely like a bright burnish, almost glowing when they hit the light. Scales cleaned and shined.
So you're gonna get head to toe, looking dapper. Do you want, while you're getting this whole full body treatment, do you want your clothes cleaned and pressed as well?
Better get a new outfit, I think.
Okay, so if you're getting a new outfit as well, that'll cost you a bit, but you can have somebody brought in to go do the runnings. I mean, they'll could have cast light on his claws. That reminds me of a game I played in that went off the rails in a bad way, but it was a good idea at the time. So for all of that, yeah, you can get like the full Nordstrom experience where somebody comes in and finds out some stuff you want, and they'll go be the shopper and get it for you. You're looking at a fancy new outfit, full body treatment. Go ahead and mark off 15 gold for all that. But you have a very nice tailored, and they did some quick alterations on it for you. It fits like a glove, just finest fabrics, little velvet trim around the lapels there. Mannix looking quite fancy as you all gather back together. Has Reba been up to anything during this, or is she just kind of kicking it easy?
I would love to have done some shopping if there's time for that.
I would have absolutely time. They were gone for a few hours. What Reba need to go get?
All right. I think first on the list is trying to find some platinum rings that are worth 50 gold.
Platinum rings worth 50 gold. Normally I'd make you make an investigation check, but again, you're in a pretty big city. It's not hard. You ask around, and for that's a fairly common magical ingredient. You can get those for 50 gold. Like that'll be sold to you at cost, no problem.
Lovely. So I believe it's 50 gold each. So then I'm going to remove 100 gold from my inventory.
Do it. Spend that money.
Hell yeah. And then, unfortunately, that means I don't have really. Well, I guess I could. Could I find a glass eye worth 100 gold?
A glass eye worth 100 gold. Let's find out. High or low, Reba?
High.
Okay. Yes, you do find one. It is a highly polished pearl that has been engraved with the shape of an eye on it, and it is a completely transparent pearl. So while it is not made of glass, since this is a spell component, this would work for that, as glass eye is sort of a catch-all term for various different materials that have been used for artificial eyes. This one is not specifically made of glass, and anybody who says, no, the spell thing says glass, it has to be glass, bite me. This is my world, and I'm having fun with it. So this will work for your spell. But yeah, it is a transparent pearl, which are quite rare, that has been engraved with the features of an eye. So you don't always make all of them out at a glance, but as the light hits it, you can see how it would have been looking like an eye. It's very, very nice.
Lovely.
And that you can get that at cost.
Great. I will buy that then.
Cool. You have those things.
Lovely. After I get that, I'm just gonna, that covers it for me. I'll head back. I'll sort of spend other time just sort of gathering spell components of stuff that does not cost money. But here's my time to like get that incense and sort of pack that away neatly and all that stuff. Assess my inventory.
Yeah, and anything that doesn't have a specific cost with it, or anything that's not consumed by a spell, like you have to worry about that. And also, so you're good on all the rest of that. And so you will all gather back together, shopping having been successful, a clockwork owl having been retained. You all notice that here's Mannix with a brand new set of very fine clothes, just looking all kinds of. In fact, Mannix, just go ahead and give me a charisma check. Just roll a d20, add your charisma mod.
Oh, that's going to be good.
27.
20. Yeah, you guys see Mannix. Oh, don't add your proficiency, just your charisma mod. Like your charisma, like what'd you roll on the die?
18.
18. So it'd be 23 because your charisma mod's a +5.
Okay, what's the plus 9? Oh, that's a saving throw. Pardon.
Yeah, that's your charisma save.
Sorry, only 23.
Okay, yeah, only 23. You guys notice like Mannix always looks dapper, fancy. Even when he's had the shit beat out of him in a fight, he still looks, ruggedly handsome. All of you have to admit to yourselves in this moment, Mannix looks good. And, as long as they say the clothes make the man, no. This is a case where very much the man is making the clothes. Like, these are nice clothes, but you're going, nah, not just anybody could pull this off. This dude knows how to wear a suit.
Reba cat calls.
Get a hold of yourself, my dear. That color is not becoming on you.
So Haku goes up next to Mannix and is just kind of like looking and kind of like, they make those in my size?
My dear friend, for any amount, anything can be in your size.
But do they make them in my size?
No.
Cool.
I don't know if you've noticed, but you are a rather large man.
Not particularly.
Well, you're not tall, Pa. You're like Haku buff.
I'm like a square.
Yeah.
Like a big square, that guy.
He's like a shorter version of Strong Mad.
Great.
That's exactly what I was about to say. Mini strong mad.
So many people doing fan sketches, just Polynesian strong mad.
Did you put potato salad in my drawer again?
Polynesian Strong Mad sounds like a ska band from like 2008.
It very much does.
Or at least a ska
And the
song.
Angry Samoans.
But you are all gathered together, and I believe there are some treats that need to be offered. So I can't wait to see how this goes.
All right, we could just quickly retcon that I would have discussed strategy with Kira and Garnet on the way in,
Oh, without question.
and like kind of how this was gonna go. And but I forgot to do the talking, and then I remembered that I'm terrible at that. What if anything, Kira, do you want to share with the rest? The others?
I mean, it's not gonna be fun to say, but y'all deserve to know everything.
Sorry. So are we all together again then?
We're strategizing.
Yes.
Yes, I'm saying, I'm just briefly.
Yeah, and I saw your note about the components, and I will make sure you get those. Oh, go ahead.
Yeah. No, that's fine.
Yeah, I'll make sure you get those.
I'll just say then, as soon as if we are all together again, then just as soon as I see you within 60 feet, I'm like, oh, and I kneel down and turn my back to you, Kira, and you just see me kneeling down doing something on the ground, and then, ta-da, and I get up and it flies over to you.
What is this?
Well, I mean, it's in your hand. You can see what it is.
Mm-hmm.
It's for you.
This is amazing. Where did W5?
Dipple top, mechanical owl, little bit ago, outside of town. Why not?
Well, thank you. So how does it work? Do you just like wind this bit here and it flies off, or?
Pretty much. It can't go very far, but it'll get there. It tries real hard.
And I wind it. Like, now how do I get it to go to a particular place?
Just think of the happiest things and then tell him where to go.
Okay.
So, fairy thought, like fairy flying rules.
I mean,
Siobhan's head.
That's how it works.
and I have it flit off and just land on Siobhan's head.
It's perched there. It's not terrible. It's not like uncomfortable, Siobhan, but
Yeah, that's gonna be some fun.
I don't. What's it doing?
It's a toy. It's not gonna like build a nest in your hair and then lay eggs and then you'll have little baby owls coming out of your head. That won't happen.
But that would be cool.
Is it cute?
He's real cute.
It's like,
Well, ready to do unpleasant things.
Kueo flies over and just kind of head bobs at it.
Siobhan also inadvertently makes those really high-pitched squealing noises and is then surprised at herself. Feck was right. All right. Well, I'm just. She hands it back over to Kira. And it's like, right. Second annual session of truth telling and the fart now being commenced. There are. What did I buy? Cake, pies, tarts.
I got some cakes.
There.
Very interesting cakes that sort of have this, savory, salty bit to them, but cakes
Yeah.
nonetheless.
There are cakes for distribution. I only put out 2, holding them, for emergencies. It's like they say they'll serve 3 each, so, anyway, so I'm gonna assume that this is, uh-oh.
There he goes. Oh,
There
there
we
he goes.
go.
Things getting weird again. That's all right.
Who did I turn into when he dropped?
Interestingly enough, you switch down to him, and then Casey swaps over to you, and he swaps up to Casey, and that's all that moves.
Yes, I am Mannix, and you should give me all of the things. And I am going to share my wealth with my party. Everybody gets 5,000 platinum today.
Like,
Hello, my name is Pohaku Kahu, Champion Esquire Proudhair. For now, it will grow.
Nailed it.
Pohaku Kahu, collector of names.
Yeah, I didn't realize I was dealing with a Percy DeRollo at first, but now I see what's happening here with Pohaku, and I'm in for it.
I didn't know that's where I was going with it either. These things just happen.
Much like a lizard folk rogue who retires from adventuring to make sausages, things just happen, and that's why I love it.
Yeah.
Anyhow, I'll let you get back to your cakes.
Should we try to wait for Mannix to get back on, or?
Yeah. I'll pause.
So, what do we want to bring to the resurrection ritual for Mannix?
Well, I chose to get focus and platinum rings instead of getting the Revivify diamonds. So Mannix, you're fucked.
Well, it was a good run. I'd better roll up that paladin then.
Oh, look, Mannix is back. Can't.
Good. I wasn't sure if I had the incantation on that spell quite right.
And I was just going to contribute some sarcasm and dry wit.
I was just
that is his favorite
copies on his
terrain.
dead body.
You pour 2 coffees on Mannix's dead body. It turns out he was just actually taking a snooze, and no. I just bought this.
Just use the whole cup.
It's just the scene from the IT
Nice
crowd.
reference.
Just the coffee scene from the IT crowd.
Nice dogma reference, Nathan.
Oh, I can see why you're single.
Anyhow, back to the cakes.
I cast a mirror image. Well, now there's 3 of me.
Pohaku does have the cakes. The
So,
champion thick.
This is out of character. I legit don't remember if I've ever told, if Siobhan has ever told you guys about her visions. I think she has.
Bits
I
and pieces.
think in the last Fort Kick-Ass
Yeah. Yeah.
truth-telling.
Yeah. So I had another of me visions last night, and it was a bit clearer than it's been in the past. I'm beginning to understand the quarry a bit, I think. And what before had looked to me like sort of faceless monsters with the fire coming from their eyes, who had slaughtered the people, the Kalishtar. Well, last night they were all wearing white masks. You see, and at first I thought it was, suggestion because we've been talking about it, and yet just last night I believe that the mask was a sign of the Hallowkeeper, but I don't dream. I don't have dreams. I only see visions. So I think the whoever this Hallowkeeper is, I think they have something to do with what happened to my people.
But you saw, so this was a similar, not a dream. It was similar but clearer this time.
I saw more details and I could understand more things. It was, everything happened the same way that I've always ever seen it, but it was like I could understand what some of the people were saying, and I could get a clearer look at the people who were attacking.
Well, so if before they looked like flame eyes and now they look like white masks, I mean, maybe that's, it's just, that doesn't mean that that's the final thing. Maybe it's just coming in. Maybe they're just really pale. I don't know. But maybe, if because, your previous, vision, if it wasn't a dream. Normally, I would say dreams. I mean, I have dreams, and usually a dream isn't literally what I'm supposed to be seeing there. Now, if this isn't quite a dream, I don't know, maybe the rules are different. So, but if you saw it and then it's like evolving, maybe it will continue to evolve. So, it could be that it's just, there's more to it.
I see what you're saying, and you're not wrong, and I don't know how to explain. I always knew it was real. I always knew it was real. I remember telling people when I was a babe that I had seen my father. I knew who that was putting me down putting me down. I knew who it was, but I was told I couldn't possibly remember because I was too wee. But then having talks to, I'm gesturing because I've forgotten the other Kalistrar dude's name. From having spoken to that guy who we all well remember the name of.
You would all know him as Phineas.
Yeah, Phineas, right? Phineas.
Yeah, Ferb.
Ferb.
Previously said. Well oiled. From what he explained to me, it's just that I'm removed from the plane of dreams. I can't access it. So what I thought I was seeing as a dream was the quarry trying to communicate with me. I don't understand myself, and I don't think I'm explaining it well.
Well, would the quarry be changing the vision then? Are they trying to tell you something through it? Is it an accurate, like through baby Siobhan's eyes?
See, I'm having I'm having second thoughts because I thought that I was just understanding what I had seen. Like perhaps what I don't think it changed. I think it's just clear.
You said that before the figures had flames coming out of their eyes. Did that keep happening with the masks, or has that been replaced by the masks?
Yeah, that's kind of what I was trying to say.
It's a question from Bjorn. There's maybe a misunderstanding.
So before, what you had seen was just sort of a void where the face would be, and what looked like flame in the place of eye sockets. It wasn't like Superman heat vision or anything. It was just these burning flame. And then now, as the vision became more clear, these kind of wavy robes took a more solid shape, and these bright burning spots where eyes would be, you actually could now see eyes there where you saw the masks. So sort of your understanding of it was, the best way I can describe it is like looking at the negative of a photo where there needed to be something where eyes would be, or you would have registered just nothing, like Ghost of Christmas Future, right? So now as these white, very featureless masks have come into shape, and now seeing actual eyes there. It was to give you you think it was sort of to know that there were some sort of faces there, but you couldn't see them. So as far as you can tell, like you watched as it became more clear in your vision. But yeah, they weren't shooting fire out of their eyes.
We're talking embers, maybe, not flames. This isn't a Ghost Rider situation.
Oh, no, not quite.
Gotcha. Does Siobhan, I assume Siobhan relays that.
Yes.
Okay.
All of it. I
Oh,
explained
okay.
all of it better.
That... Oh,
So,
shit. So the mask is the sign of the Hollow Keeper. The mask is worn by the people who committed genocide against your people. The mask was found on the body of the one who was pretending to be the census member in the mines. My goodness, they're popping up a lot.
weren't they? It turns to Kira. I think they were census members. Were they not?
It's the picture that's becoming and not to steal your thunder, but the picture that's becoming clearer is that they are fully fledged members of the census, but they are not acting as the census should, or that the census orders, like a rogue sect within the census that has their own agenda.
I mean, until we know where their orders are coming from, I'm not willing to completely rule out that it's not the real agenda.
Yeah, of course you're not. Being able to see visions clearer does segue into my bit of truth telling a bit, because my mentor, who I need to go talk to, which will make sense once I tell you the other thing that I am trying to not say, and I'm just kind of rambling to get in the way of it, because I don't want to.
One touches him.
He specializes in divination, so he could probably help with visions. So I got in touch with my mentor. So Castian, who we've learned, instead of being the kind and honorable man who helped take care of me after my father died, he's, a complete bastardist traitor. So my father, who the entire empire, as well as myself, has been told, died honorably in the line of duty in the mission. I don't know the details, but all I was told is that story ain't true. So now, it does make sense why they wouldn't let me read any of the report of that mission. But now, trying to figure out why they're lying to the entire country.
Hey, Kira, are you sure he's dead?
That's not. Oh.
I'm well known for my subtlety.
Yeah, Kira just shuts down. Kira just full shuts down.
Yeah, Siobhan is behind him, rubbing his back, and glares at. I think she glares at Pahaku until he says he's well known for his subtlety, and then it's just like.
Oh, that was me, not Pahaku, but
no.
yeah.
And she just glares. Right. So what Kira and I are saying is both of us have reason now to go to the Empire. And I don't know, I turn first to Garnet and Pahaku and say, I don't know what your plans are. Seems a bit like where the wind takes you. Turns to turns to Maddox and goes, definitely whatever your plans are, you're keeping it right close to the vest. And turns to Reba, and I know you don't fucking want to go back. But I think unfortunately I have to.
Yeah, no, it makes sense. All right.
I was reaching into my bag to get the emergency pie, and I freeze when she's like, okay. You did all right?
I mean,
Real quick, Bjorn, does Kira know about Mannix's friendship/professional relationship with Taldris? Does he know?
If you have told him, yes, but as far as your black market dealings,
Gotcha.
the Soul family is real good about keeping that under wraps. And that's partially been the power of your patron has helped shield that from prying eyes for a long time.
Just curious if I think that Mannix would have mentioned something about Taldris, if not the exact details of his business.
Oh yeah, I mean, it's very likely that Kira would know that you have a business associate named Taldris who you've worked on investments with.
Yeah.
He may not know the shady stuff about dealing in magical items, stuff that's like contraband within the Empire, including dealing in a resource from the nation to the south, the Aeofil. They have a export known as steel timber, which is highly sought in the Empire, and that's one resource your family and Taldris a bit deals in, because anyone in the Empire who can get their hands on steel timber will pay a small fortune for it. And because of the still animosity between the two nations, there's no significant trade going back and forth on that. So, yeah, it's a resource that you have a line on that. Yeah.
Okay. Here, my lad. Do you recall my business partner Taldris?
Yeah, I'm back. I'm here. Yeah, the name's familiar.
Good. Well, turns out he might need a bit of looking after. So I think that we should be going and paying him a visit. So if this will coincide with your what have you going back to home and whatnot, then I think then very much we shall be heading back in. How does that sound to you, my lad?
I mean,
Wonderful.
Yep.
Love to hear it.
Yep. Okay. Then I'll figure out how to what the best train route is going to be for us to get back.
Why don't you have a bit of a lie down first? We don't have to figure it out right this second.
Keep your mind off of everything else.
Yep. I feel like if I stop, it'll only get worse.
Good lad.
Yep.
So
Yep.
I have a game when I get really stressed out that I like to play. And I think it might help in this situation because, well, just hear me out. So the game is, what's the worst thing that could happen? Because
like
if
that
you
game.
start thinking about all of the really bad things that can happen, when things that aren't as bad happen, cool. And when the bad thing happens, you've already thought about it. So I know that Pohaku brought up a really uncomfortable thing about Tyree, but are there other things in your brain that maybe are popping up now that you're finding out all these other things that it might be just helpful to say out loud?
No. Because in this situation, if Pohaku's right, then the worst thing that could possibly happen is that the man I've been trying to be like my entire life is a traitor to everything that he raised me to be.
That would be pretty bad.
And then what is the point of everything I have done?
The point of everything that you've done is that it's made you who you are. It doesn't all have to be for some greater purpose or intention that can't change or adjust or adapt. You've needed all of it to be who you are. And listen, I fucking hate the place you came from, and I still like you. So clearly something went right. Whether or not the foundation of what led you to where you are today changes retrospectively, it doesn't change who you are presently.
See, that's very smart. Also, Kira, how old are you again? Or how old are you going to be on this new birthday?
18.
Dude, you have so much more learning and growing and discovering to do. This is only the beginning.
Yeah, dude, I hadn't even fully finalized my tag by 18, you know? That wasn't even
Amazing.
solid, much less my identity.
Up until these last 2.5, 3 weeks, things have made sense. I knew what I was going to do, what I was supposed to do, what I needed to do, what I wanted to do, and now that could all be wrong.
I may say so. You are catastrophizing a little bit. You don't know yet. You're assuming the worst of your father. You're assuming the worst of Jesus Christ. I swear to God, I know people's names.
Castian?
Yep. You're assuming the worst of Castian. You don't know.
Well, I thought the worst, assuming the worst, was the game that was supposed to make me feel better, and it is not.
Yeah, that was a dumb game. I think. Well, no. I mean, I'm just. No. All right. Go back to what Reba was doing because she was doing good. I'm just saying.
Hey, Garnet.
Mm-hmm.
I need you to make a wisdom saving throw.
Oh, okay.
This is magical, if that makes a difference.
Oh,
That
no.
sure does. That would be a nat 20 for 20.
Okay. Nat 20 for 20. Wow. I'm gonna make note of that.
That doesn't sound like something that could be useful down the line.
Carry on.
Okay, now I, as a person, and my character is stressed out. Great, cool,
yep.
fun. Woo!
They're saying if the worst comes to be, you can survive it, and that's assuming that the worst is the case, which we do not know.
Yeah, I just need to talk to... I need to talk to Sordal. And also, Siobhan, I think you should, because, like, his entire whole thing with magic is... Well, he does also punch with magic, but, like, outside of punching with magic, he does do a whole lot of practice with divination and with visions and seeing things through your mind, so it might be helpful to you.
Kara, I'm going to ask a really delicate question, and this is along the lines of my stupid game. Why is he trustworthy?
He has... Even when it would be comfortable and easier, he has never lied to me in my life. He helped bring up my father and me after he passed. If there is anyone on this planet that I can trust, I know it's him. And the fact, because he could have not told me this last bit. If he wanted to keep me in some kind of trap doing nefarious things without knowing it, he wouldn't have just told me that the story of my father's death might be a lie. Because that would completely go against trying to control me and keep me on the path that I'm already on. Yeah.
Do you know what his goals are in general outside of personal family life?
His thing that he taught my father and me was always that his goal was to be a protector of the less fortunate. That everything, that those in power should always strive to use that power to make sure that everyone is taken care of and protected and provided for. I can't see him having any goals that aren't somewhere for that.
Has he ever tried to use that as a way to make you or anyone else feel indebted to him?
Not that I know of.
Then he sounds like a good guy.
He often, while training me, would tell me that I shouldn't, that this life wasn't a good choice, but if I wanted to choose it, he would help me to the best of his ability. And so if he was trying to control me or make me feel indebted to him, he did a really bad job of it.
Well, then I'm not seeing too many red flags besides the fact that he's aligned with an organization I disagree with. As are you.
Yeah.
Vaughn says in Reba's head, "That was very kindly put." And do you know what that is? Growth.
Well, if I trust Kira, despite him being a stooge for the Empire, I find it only makes sense
There we go. There
to
it is.
open that possibility to those beyond him.
You will all hear a very loud knock at your door. Sorry to bother you all. There is a gentleman here looking for Master Kira and his compatriots.
Oh, good, the stripper's here. Yeah, let him in.
Oh.
I'm kidding. I did out of character.
Oh, okay.
Actually, you know what? No, in character, and then Reba does the full. Just kidding. Sorry, Kira.
Don't tell Haku looks a little disappointed.
Am I to let him in?
Do they give a name?
Yeah, very well. Let the stripper in.
Mr. Sordol is here.
Get him right the fuck in.
And the door will open, and Kira, you recognize him instantly. And the rest of you, this very large frame, wearing these vibrant wizard's robes, staff in his hand, comes stepping in. And he kind of has to tilt his head so that these large ears don't brush against the door frame itself, this large trunk hanging down as the elephant-like Loxodon face of Sordal looks. I came as quick as I could. It'll have to wait until tomorrow, but how do you and your compatriots feel about sneaking into the Empire? We can pick up there.
Yeah. Okay, cool. Things are fine.
He was able to trace where the letter came from because that's how magical mail works. And he happens to know teleportation circle.
Yeah, bet he does.
And there are teleportation circles here in a city this large. So your mentor, Sordal, is here. And we'll see what that's going to mean for everybody.
Thank God, Procura's having
So much sooner than I thought it would be.
I feel like Obi-Wan just showed up, and this is like awesome.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, this is this is kind of like Obi-Wan's donut. This is big. But yeah, we're gonna pick up right there with you guys' conversation as Thordal can have a little chat with all of you, and I'm excited for that. Really glad you sent that letter, Jordan. That kind of it kicked. I was like, okay, I thought you were gonna send it normal. You're like, no, we're sending it by magic mail. Like, oh, okay, well, with what he's found and with what you're saying, he's gonna have his eye on you. But that's for next session, you all. I can't wait for that. It's going to be bonkers. We'll see what chaos awaits, kids.
It'll be